Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another off the board layout for you guys today. And today is Wednesday, so it is what's in my cup. This is the cup that I picked to pull inspiration from. I was actually very inspired in this cup, and I thought it was a cool technique when I came across it on my Pinterest. So I've got a couple layouts or a couple photos here for you guys, a few film strips. I'm going to be working with the cluster kit that is from 49 and Market Sunburst collection. So I'm just sharing with you guys the chipboard, the laser cut pieces, all the pieces that I am going to be pulling from when I go to make my clusters. I also picked out an alpha set. I don't know if I pull out yes, I do. There it is. So I have these tiny words from Prima. They're called statement stickers. And then this alpha set right here from Thickers that's called Count the Ways. I know they're pink. Can you believe I even bought those on purpose? And so I'm using those to make my title. From Asuka Studios, I picked out this Welcome to Paradise paper that actually matched my mug beautifully. And then, of course, I have been really enjoying adding this dark element to my cruise layout. So from Cedar House, I've got my Hexagons papers. That is an American Crafts paper. And of course, I'm going to be using this dark wood side. Now, full disclosure, I did buy a ton of this dark wood grain, so I knew that I had enough to be consistent throughout my entire layout. So I'm going to take this Asuka paper and I'm going to just cut it right in half. And that is going to be my representation. Now, at first I thought it was going to be down at the bottom and work its way up, just like my mug. And then I thought, no, I'm going to put it off to the side and have it work its way into my photos. I know my photos are going to be mounted on that dark wood grain. I absolutely know it. Now, I have to say that this is not exactly cut in half. I think it's about 6.5 by whatever the other dimension, 5.5, the dimension on the other side. I just know that some of them that I did not cut that Asuka paper right in half because of the fact that the blotch in the middle was not exactly in the middle. And so I really wanted to slice my paper down in the middle. So of course I cut my wood grain to do that exact representation so that way I could fill in my entire background, right? I did not want a gap. I didn't want to have to go and find something that was going to be a bridge between both of the prints of paper. So I wanted it to be that. Well, I ended up making my bridge anyways because I had this amazing corrugated paper sitting on my desk. Now, it wasn't exactly 12 inches wide, so I do have to make things up as I go, which is what I'm good at. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the longest strips, and then I'm going to cut off a third strip so that way I can get it to go and span all the way across. And by the time I'm done with all of that, you don't even see it. Now, this specific corrugated paper, I have two different types of corrugated paper that is coming to the shop soon. I promise you guys, it is coming to the shop. I've had a lot of people ask me for the corrugated paper. It is coming. I have two different styles of corrugated paper. And what it is, the difference is what's called the flue, okay? Flute, F-L-U-T-E. And those are the little humps that make the corrugated. So I've got big humps and little humps. And they're actually called Flute A and Flute B. And so one of the difference is, which I don't know exactly which one is A and B, I apologize about that. But one of the difference is that, so let's say, for instance, flute A is a 1/4 inch flute, which means that it has a higher hump on it. And then flute B is an 1/8 inch, which has those teeny tiny little, plus they're more closer together. I have two options available. I love both. I love this larger one because when I smush it down, it actually looks like that bunched up ribbon and getting it to go into, I don't know, you guys. I just really like both styles. I know that a lot of people like the 1/8 inch one a lot more because it is that skinnier, and if they don't smash it down then they don't have to worry about the bulk in their album. I've always smashed my corrugated down, so I'm not really worried on either one. Like I said, both of them get you a different look. I recommend both of them, but I grasp the concept of why, one is favored over the other. All right, so I did end up putting that corrugated paper in between my two pieces of paper. Even though it looked perfectly fine without it, I still opted to have some sort of filler between my two. I really do end up liking how this looks. In all honesty, I like this corrugated, and like I said, even though the corrugated wasn't tall enough, when I ended up putting them together, you can't tell except for the fact that I told you that that's what I was doing, right? That's the only reason why you notice it. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and put my second layout together for you all. Surprisingly enough, I have to say, I am embracing the pink on my layouts for this cruise. It is a very bright, it is a very festive color to be using with a cruise layout. It also, it also allows the blue of the ocean to just stand out that much more. I'm not really sure exactly how to cover it, but I do know that I am not a pink person at all, but I have definitely enjoyed bringing in the pink into this particular album. Now, is it going to be a constant? Am I going to keep bringing pink into all of my layouts? Probably not. But it does work really well. I also liked bringing in the pink because you know me, I bought several pieces of this Asuka paper in the blue and the green as well. I've used about three on three different layouts this year alone. This Asuka paper was fabulous, you guys, absolutely fabulous. I picked mine up at scrapbook.com in case you guys are curious. And as always, I love the fresh morning air, and so I keep my big bay door open. And of course, everybody's on their way to work. So I have to apologize if you guys can hear the rum of the traffic driving by. I apologize. It is just a beautiful morning out this morning, and I love being outdoors. If I could have my entire craft room outside and the weather not damage it, I would. I definitely would. So anyways, so yes, I bought the Asuka paper at scrapbook.com. I just typed in the word Asuka and thought that I would check some pieces out. They did a really cool grungy brick paper, and that is what originally made me go and look at the rest of what they had to offer. And I really like it, and I'm glad scrapbook.com carries it. If I find it, I will keep a link down below for you guys, so that way it's easier for you guys to go and search it up as well. So as always, most of the links that I have in my description boxes are affiliate links, which means that if you do choose to purchase through that link, I get a small commission. It's not much. It's not going to buy me a car or anything, but I do appreciate the support when you guys do. I really do. So here I am pulling out all of my elements. Now, what I was saying before I got distracted and had to do the whole spiel that that YouTube makes me say, but I chose pink instead of my blue and teal. And green is because of this gorgeous building or buildings that are in Nassau. Nassau, yes. And they were this bright pink. Nassau was so colorful, you guys. I've already did a layout about all of the other buildings that we saw. It was gorgeous, you guys. The bright, fun colors that every building is painted. There were these pink buildings. There were other softer pink buildings, more on the lines of peach, but they possibly could have been pink at one point in time, or maybe they were orange and faded into that beautiful pink. I'm not really sure, you guys. And yes, I just did say beautiful pink. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? Whew! I think I need to go see a therapist. So anyways, there were lime green, bright orange. I am just trying to think of all the other colors, you guys, of gorgeous buildings. And yeah, I definitely took a lot of pictures of buildings. There was one corner that we walked around, and it was like an entranceway to an apartment set, and they had a gorgeous mural painted on that on their blank wall, with the stairs going up, and it was fabulous. It really, really was. So, anyways, I just wanted to document it, and of course, like I said, I'm up before the ship is docked. It was one of my favorite things. Is I didn't necessarily watch us dock, but it was one of my favorite things to peek out of either our balcony window, which I really can't see much because we were midship and, kind of peeking over the little barrier to make it a little bit more private for other balconies. I really couldn't see that much. So this is either from the 16th or 15th deck, and taking pictures of us floating into the island and roughly before. I know that the bottom photo of this left layout over here is from the 5th deck, because of the little buoys or the rescue boats that are pictured there. But yeah, it is, oh my gosh, you guys, it just a fabulous island to come up upon. I am so super excited that I did end up getting these types of photos, because I'm a very, very bright morning person. I really am. Some people are just like, not enough coffee yet. You need to just chill. But I loved this. I really did. I loved how quiet the boat was. I call it a boat. Yes, I do. I know it's a ship, but I call it a boat. I loved how quiet it was. There was very few people up and about, and I got to explore, the resting areas, the bars, and things like that without them being full of people. I mean, I loved it. There was actually a couple mornings where I ran into another photographer, and he was very serious. He had this ginormous camera that had a lens, longer than my leg. It was amazing. And yeah, it was great. He stopped by after a while. I was taking pictures of the underbelly of the slide, and he even made a comment. He says, "Yeah, you got to get up super early to get those pictures that don't have people in it, huh?" And I was like, well, that's not necessarily what I was doing, but yeah, let's say I was. So it was good times. It really was. And surprisingly enough, there was a lot of athletes up that early as well. So the 5th floor is where the gym was, or fitness center, I guess is what they call it. That was a hopping in place, I have to say that, as well as the track. The track went all the way around the entire fifth deck. On the outside, it was beautiful, you guys, absolutely beautiful, because you got to watch the wake in the back, the sunset in the back, or sunrise, I apologize. It's just gorgeous. It really, really was. And to have it go and wrap around the entire deck was just fabulous. Wished it was a little bit wider, but you know what? It was wide enough. I did not feel crowded when I had to stop and take pictures, because you run by, or I walk. I don't run. But I did my morning walk, and I would walk by, and it just, the sun coming through the clouds, or the color of the water, there's just nothing out there that can replicate that color. Nothing. It was beautiful, you guys, absolutely beautiful. And so of course I had to stop and take pictures, and not a single person was bothered by it. It was almost like it was a thing. People come out onto that deck just to come and take the pictures and stuff. So yeah, it just, it was amazing. All right, you guys. So I have put my clusters together. I did make my right cluster based off of one of the clusters that was, I guess, suggested in the cluster kit. And then I built my left cluster based off of the elements and items that were in the right. So if I used a shell, flowers, all that good stuff. So I just basically repeated what I had from the right onto the left. And I did switch out a couple of my film strips because I didn't like the fact that my two orange ones meshed together and they didn't stick out. So I did that as well. Made a couple other little clusters in some negative spaces on my photo. And yeah, that is my layout for today, all from a mug. I love it. All right, you guys, same as usual, I have links down below for lots of things, links for Off the Board and everyone that is playing along with Crystal this month. I also have links for all of my other cruise layouts in case you guys would like to go look for those. And then, as always, I have a link for our next cruise that is coming up in 2025 if you would like to join us there. We are making an album together. It'll be 16 pages with a couple little perks because you know me. I don't like normal. All right, you guys. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I truly appreciate it every day that you stop by, and I will check you guys all later. Bye.